So, what's really going on here? While the world's watching Canada's $19 billion F-35 deal, they just quietly signed something with Sweden that nobody saw coming. 88 Saab Gripens. And this isn't some backup plan. This is a silent revolution. This isn't just about buying fighter jets. This is about a country redefining its sovereignty, pushing back against Washington's pressure, and bringing back an industry that got wiped out 60 years ago. What most media outlets are missing is that this deal isn't just changing Canada's Air Force. It's rewriting the rule book on how smaller nations can break free from superpower orbits. For decades, Canada played the role of America's junior partner in the defense ecosystem, buying weapons from Washington, following NATO priorities, accepting its place in supply chains controlled by Lockheed Martin and Boeing. But something shifted. According to reports from Canada's Department of Defense, Ottawa's done playing by the old rules. They're not delaying the F-35 decision. They're reassessing their entire defense procurement strategy. This is the shift from junior partner to strategic independence, and the Gripen is the tool to make it happen. Why now? International analysts point to 3 factors. First, F-35 costs keep skyrocketing way beyond initial estimates. Second, F-35 mission readiness rates remain disappointing, hovering between 30% and 50%. Third, and most crucial, Canada realized that real security doesn't just come from cutting-edge tech, but from controlling your own destiny. The Gripen isn't the cheapest option. It's not the fastest or most powerful jet, but it offers something the F-35 never could: complete technological sovereignty. With the Gripen, Canada controls the software. Canada decides which weapons to integrate. Canada doesn't need Washington's permission every time they want to upgrade systems or deploy missions. Defense experts are calling this out. This isn't rejecting the alliance. This is strategic maturity. Canada is still a NATO member, still a NORAD partner, but they're redefining the terms of that alliance. And Sweden, they're not selling planes. They're offering a completely different model for building defense capabilities. Let's talk geography. Canada owns the world's largest Arctic territory. Temperatures drop to -40 degrees Celsius, short rough runways, minimal infrastructure. Remote distances demanding independent operations. The F-35 was designed for modern warfare, taking off from major bases with maintenance crews in the dozens. The Gripen was built for exactly the kind of environment Canada faces. According to technical documents from Saab, the Gripen can take off on runways just 800 m long, even when they're covered in snow and ice. It can operate dispersed with ground support teams of just 6 technicians and 1 refueling truck. Maintenance time between flights under an hour. This isn't theory. Sweden's proven this model for over 3 decades, operating Gripens from highway sections converted into emergency runways. Their dispersed defense strategy is built on geographical reality, not ideal assumptions. Canada needs exactly that capability for the Arctic. But here's the critical point. Hardly anyone's talking about technological sovereignty. When you buy the F-35, you don't own the software. You don't control the weapon systems. Every upgrade, every new weapons integration, you need approval from the Pentagon. Security experts call this structured technical dependency. With the Gripen, Canada gets full access to the source code. They can integrate any weapons they choose from any supplier. They can upgrade avionics without anyone's permission. This is real strategic independence, not a slogan, not theory. It's the ability to operate without being tied to decisions from another country's capital. A Canadian defense official once said, "Sovereignty isn't just territory, it's also technology." The Gripen makes that principle real. But the deal with Sweden goes way beyond buying planes. According to industry sources, Saab isn't just selling Gripens to Canada. They're offering comprehensive technology transfer. Final assembly will happen in Canada. Maintenance will be handled by Canadian engineers. Upgrades will be developed by Canadian companies. This is a partnership model, not a vendor-customer relationship. And there's one particular detail that's shaking up Canada's aviation industry. Rolls-Royce has committed to manufacturing Gripen engines in Canada. Facilities in Montreal and Winnipeg will be upgraded to build next-generation jet engines. What does this mean? Thousands of high-tech jobs, restoring aerospace manufacturing capacity lost since the 1960s. A chance for Canada to become a defense technology producer again, not just a consumer market. Economic analysts estimate this deal could create 15,000 direct and indirect jobs within a decade. But there's one critical lesson. Canada's paying attention to Switzerland's experience with the F-35. In 2022, Switzerland signed a contract to buy F-35s. Initial estimate, 5 billion Swiss francs. By 2024, Actual costs had exceeded 8 billion francs and were still climbing. Reports from Switzerland's Department of Defense show operating costs running 40 to 60% higher than projected. But the bigger issue isn't money, it's control. Switzerland discovered they couldn't use the F-35 for certain missions without approval from the US. They couldn't export the technology. They couldn't share data with partners outside US-approved alliances. Experts call this mortgage sovereignty. You buy the planes, but you don't own the freedom to use them. Canada's watching. They're learning from other people's mistakes. To understand why the Gripen deal means so much to Canada, we need to go back to 1959. The Avro Arrow, the world's most advanced fighter jet at the time, completely designed and manufactured in Canada, representing a nation's ambition to stand among the aviation technology powers. Then, in a decision that's still controversial today, the Canadian government canceled the entire project. Pressure from Washington, promises to buy cheaper American planes, the belief that alliance mattered more than independence. Over 14,000 engineers and workers lost their jobs overnight. Canada's aerospace manufacturing capability collapsed. Many of them migrated to the US, taking their knowledge and talent to build NASA's space program. That's a wound that's never healed in Canada's national consciousness. Now, 65 years later, the Gripen deal offers a chance to fix that history. The commitment to 88 aircraft isn't a random number. Defense analysts point out this is the scale needed to patrol and defend Canada's entire Arctic territory, from Yukon to Baffin Island, from the Alaska border to Greenland waters. This is a sovereignty statement. As Arctic ice melts and new shipping routes open up, Canada's asserting control over northern skies with real capability, not diplomatic declarations. The Arctic skies are about to have an owner. And this time, Canada's decided to hold the keys themselves. But there's a strategic dimension few people are seeing. Canada's building new alliances. Not with Washington, but with the Nordic countries. Sweden, Norway, Finland, and Denmark all face the same challenges as Canada. Vast territories, sparse populations, harsh climates, and the need to defend sovereignty against larger powers. International relations experts argue the Gripen deal is the foundation for a new defense cooperation model. Technology sharing, joint training, integrated supply chains, an operating philosophy based on efficiency and pragmatism, not absolute power. This is replacing the US-centric model, not abandoning NATO, but diversifying security relationships. And the real-world impact. With the Gripen, Canada can double flight hours from current levels on the same budget. Mission readiness rates are projected at 80 to 90% compared to 30 to 50% for the F-35. Operating cost per flight hour is estimated around $8,000 compared to $35,000 to $47,000 for the F-35. Over 30 years of operation, Canada could save 15 to 20 billion. But this isn't just about money. This is economic security meeting national security. This is the ability to control your own destiny. This is choosing between dependence and autonomy. So, what does the 88 Gripen deal really mean? This isn't a decision about fighter jets. This is a decision about the future Canada wants to build. A future where sovereignty isn't just declared, but controlled through technology. A future where alliances are built on equality, not dependence. A future where Canada's defense industry isn't just someone else's supply chain. But 3 questions remain open. First, how will NATO react when Canada chooses a more independent path? Will interoperability really be affected? Or is this just an excuse to maintain dependence? Second, can Canada sustain the momentum of industrial innovation? Or will this capability erode again under external political and economic pressure? Third, in the context of increasing Arctic competition, does practical operational priority matter more than cutting-edge technology on paper? These aren't questions with easy answers, but they define a nation's future. Canada has chosen. Now the world is watching. This video content is analytical, only synthesized from public sources. It contains no classified information or official views of any government or organization. Any mention of countries, companies, or individuals is for illustrating economic and political context.